Idle's turn to try to hound Ryan. This is Cox with the ball. He was good early, has 7 points.
Just too much standing around offensively from Evansville right now.
Offensive foul. Mahurin takes the charge. The foul on Colt Ryan. And the beat goes on for Indiana State while Marty Simmons trying to figure it out here at home for the Purple Aces. A coach's clinic first half for Indiana State. They lead 37-23 with 3:56 to go in the first half. The Sycamores are shooting 71%, 15 buckets, 13 assists.
Well, they had an unusual practice on Friday. Greg Lansing said for us to come in and win in Evansville, we are going to have to be more physical than we've ever been. We're going to have to be able to take a hit around the rim and be able to finish. So what they did is they brought in their strength coach, Dave McManus. He shows up at practice. The players thought it's just a normal practice. In comes Dave McManus. He puts on sparring mitts like you would use if you're a boxer. All the inside players, the guards, everybody start looking at this going, what is going on? They start doing low post drills trying to score, and he is pounding on them with sparring gloves. Now he takes them off and he gets out a big tackling pad, and he's whacking them in the back and nailing them as they go by, and they got to finish with authority at the rim. And the guards look down as they're doing another drill going, wow, our guys are responding. And they came in here today with that mentality. Outstanding job to try and prepare for what Marty Simmons' club will throw at you.
It's almost like, to give your boxing analogy moving on, because Evansville came out with a lot of purpose. They were moving around. It's like they've been hit right in the mouth, and it just kind of has them standing there.
Correct.
It's like they're stunned by this.
Really nice job on low post defense. Sawvell deserves a gold star for that effort.
And Taylor, the little bitty guard, wide open under the goal. So Evansville trying to crank things up here a little bit. Mentioned stunned by the blow from Indiana State. And the Purple Aces trying to counterpunch.
Sawvell, a high school teammate of Ben Brust at Wisconsin. One of the best shooters in the country. Maybe the best sixth man in the Big Ten.
Mahurin. And Ryan able to get it away from Miles Walker. So Evansville trying to string something together here. See if their movement's better. Cox, step back three. Taylor, one of the best rebounding 6-foot guards in the country. A stick back. He has 24 offensive rebounds. He's 6 foot tall. He's had 4 double-digit rebounding games for the Evansville Purple Aces this season.
Well, really poor job on the defensive glass to check out, and that man crashes the glass, catch, and finish. But it all started with Sawvell's steal at the other end. Really nice job as they tried to enter a pass to the low post. He makes the steal.
Hey, Wednesday's National Signing Day for college football presented by AT&T. ESPNU will have 10 hours of coverage starting at 9 Eastern. Major announcements, live reports from campuses. ESPNU is your home for National Signing Day. Find out where the Stars of Tomorrow will play this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And arguably the top non-committed recruit. We were in his neighborhood yesterday in Springfield. Dorial Green Beckham trying to make a decision at a Springfield Hillcrest High School. You can follow his decision and everyone else's Wednesday on ESPNU. I want to go back to Troy Taylor of Evansville, who just had the stick back. How many 6-foot guards do you see, all right, has had a 14-rebound game and has yet to take a three? He doesn't shoot threes. He gets rebounds, and he's 6 feet tall.
He is a physical player. He understands what his role is. He works hard inside.
There he is. He has yet to attempt a three. His last three-point attempt was February 5th of last year, but that's not what he does. This is what he does.
Yeah, there's the miss. There he is inside. Nobody puts a body on him. Key to rebounding is finding a body, checking him off, then go get the basketball.
And a badly needed bucket. Marty Simmons slapping a towel down on the Evansville bench as a three knocked down by Odom of Indiana State. A perfect answer for the Sycamores.
They'll get McWhorter here. He doesn't like the call. Paul Jansen says you whacked him on the arm as he curled into the lane.
Foul on number 25, Steve McWhorter. That's his second personal foul, team 8.
There's a look at McWhorter. And he gives these guys a lot of energy out of Racine, Wisconsin. He got a lot done in the game we had 2 weeks ago against Wichita State. He just couldn't get things to go down at the bucket. Now Cole Ryan, these are nearly automatic as he's got a 1-and-1. 5 different times Cole Ryan has been to the line, double-digit opportunities. All 5 times he had double-digit makes, including 14 of 18 in that terrific win over Butler here to open the season and to open this building.
I feel like he hasn't really exploded tonight, but you're going to look up, it'll be double digits. This will be 10 points.
Yeah, but I'm going to credit Indiana State with their scheme and their execution of the scheme against him for keeping him from going off, at least to this point. But a good offensive first half for Indiana State. That game they won during the midweek, they scored 59 points. It was all about defense. They're working on a 40-point half here.
Justin Gant in the game wearing the face mask, got popped right in the nose, has it heavily taped, and then the mask protecting it.
Lathan missing the 3, giving a transition opportunity to the Purple Aces. And a foul underneath on Indiana State.
That's what Evansville needs. They need some energy. They need to get some baskets in transition. They've worked so hard to try and set screens and score within their concept, but it's not working right now. So you've got to get some things going off your defense and scoring in transition.
Evansville is a really, really, really good free throw shooting team. Harris is 71%, but in a game against Tennessee Tech, he was 13 of 14. Marty Simmons' club in Valley games, Cap, this is ridiculous. In conference games, they're shooting 80% as a team at the line.
There are a lot of coaches who are watching right now going, okay, what is your secret? Can you bottle it and ship some to me?
In all games, they're 77%. That's 13th in the country. Back to single digits, but Indiana State has been answering.
And it's funny, when I was coaching, you'd struggle at the line. Okay, we're going to shoot free throws till the cows come home. Doesn't help. Okay, we're not going to practice free throws. It still doesn't help.
Odom showing some poise. There is a real battle in the lane. And 9 to shoot as Evansville knocks it out of bounds.
You feel like Indiana State's playing magnificently. In Evansville doesn't have great energy, struggling, yet you look up, it's just 9 down. Now they get a stop here, a foul on Walker. Sabo gets knocked to the ground. You go down and score, and you look up, you go, guys, we're right back in the basketball game.
We have had a lot of off-the-ball fouls in this game, offensively. But that was kind of expected with the scheme and the approach of these two coaches tonight. Second foul on Miles Walker.
He checks out, but you look at the size of Miles Walker. This was a linebacker in the Army All-American Bowl. He could have played college football anywhere. He wanted to play basketball. Ran track as well. Big-time physical specimen.
Out of San Antonio, Texas. He went to South Plains Junior College near Lubbock. He got some Big 12 looks. I mean, the Big 10 and Big 12 looked at him out of JUCO.
Great read by Mahurin. Outstanding read. He saw it.
And Gant underneath. Can he finish? Yeah, rolls in. First points of the night for Justin Gant. The difference in this game than the game we had Indiana State against Wichita State is the Sycamores are able to finish against the Purple Aces.
Remember, they missed, I think we counted 9 shots within 2 feet of the basket. They're the only team to out-rebound Wichita State all year long. You out-rebound a Greg Marshall team wherever he's coached, save the scorecard, because it doesn't happen.
They out-rebounded him by 6, 42-36. Of course, Wichita State had that tough 3 overtime loss in Des Moines last night. 2 to shoot. Ned Cox not there. And a foul as Odom's going to get free throws here. A foul with 3.5 seconds left to go in the half on Kenny Harris, and that puts Indiana State in the 1-and-1.
That's his second personal foul, team 7.
Amazing how little things can change the momentum of a game. It was a 9-point game. They get a stop. You think, come down. You bang a 3, all of a sudden it's a 6-point game. Instead, you don't execute at the other end, and you look up and make free throws here. It's a 13-point lead.
Odom, who was perfect at the line against Evansville, missing the front end of a 1-and-1, and a great chance to score. Ryan with the heave and missing it. But Indiana State with a sterling first 20 minutes on the road. The Sycamores leading the Evansville Purple Aces 42-31 at halftime. Big day in college basketball. Notre Dame is hot. Ohio State gets a big win. You'll find out all about it. We'll go to the studio after this. Bracket Busters announcement. And several teams, mainly Murray State, undefeated, waiting with bated breath for see who will come to Murray. Murray's not that far from here, by the way. We're at the kind of confluence of Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky's. Greg Lansing's team playing great. But also a big week for Indiana. I mean, they're just hosting the Super Bowl, that's all, up the road in Indianapolis. Such a great state. So many Division I teams in this state. You've got Notre Dame and IU and Purdue, but Ball State. And what's great, Butler, they all play each other in the non-con. I like it. They rotate when they play each other. In fact, Butler again opened this building. Indiana State won in overtime over the Bulldogs. The brand new Ford Center here. Walker isolated inside. Sawville holds his own, and Evansville will try to chip into the lead.
Important for Evansville to get a bucket early here and start to chip into this, because if you let Indiana State start to chip away and add, it's going to be real trouble.
Paul Jansen is going to call the third personal foul of the night on Carl Richard.
That's his third personal foul. Team
Look at Marty Simmons. Just a tremendous basketball player. I think he does a great job at putting a system in and staying wedded to the system, recruiting to the system, and teaching his guys how to play that Bob Knight, Ron Felling style of basketball with a ton of screens, making the extra pass, motion, constant motion, and forcing the defense to wear down. But in the first half, I was very disappointed in the motion we saw out of Evansville. I didn't think you saw enough movement offensively, and that's what took them out of what they do so well.
Marty, a good staff as well. Jimmy August on this staff, Chris Hollander, the Mattoon Miracle, played here at the University of Evansville. Where was Jim Cruz when he left to coach at West Point, and now back here at UE. UE, a great story, one of the smallest schools in Division I, about 2,600 undergraduates, but a terrific tradition here in southern Indiana, academically and with college basketball.
Well, in fact, my old boss, John McDougal, who's in the Hall of Fame in Illinois, he's an Evansville grad. He was a football star and a great basketball coach. Played in the Refrigerator Bowl for Evansville's football team.
Who did play against? Alaska. Sawville is called for the foul as second as Indiana State went right at the guts of the Evansville defense. Walker using that brute strength. You mentioned football. The old football player gets an easy two inside.
Well, they actually had a back tap and had it stolen, and it came right to an Indiana State player, and Walker ends up getting the bunny inside.
It's just one of those games where Greg Lansing would just want to skip halftime. We're good. Play
Keep
on.
going.
Let's go. Don't stop.
Exactly. We're fine.
Sawville reverse layup, and Indiana State goes to sleep in the middle. First two of the night for Ryan Sawville, who's second in the Valley, 65% from the field.
A real nice baseline entry pass. Now it's a 9-point game at the 18-20 mark. Here comes the double inside on the low post.
And Lathan goes to the other shoulder and draws a foul.
To see, they had a double. They pinned him right down on the low block, and then they allowed him to dribble right out of it. And that's what created the foul situation.
Holmes has his second foul, and this will be free throws for Dwayne Lathan. They had 14 against Evansville in that win in Terre Haute for the Sycamores and had a huge free throw late in that game. Kenny Harris missed a three for Evansville at the buzzer. It was a 1-point win for the Sycamores. Lathan a quiet 10, but efficient. And Indiana State trading buckets for buckets here.
Taylor comes in, looks, no transition opportunity, no secondary break opportunity. Get into our set, start setting screens. We're seeing pretty good movement here early in the second half.
Yeah, Evansville's got their motor back. Ryan launches for three, count it.
Well, that was right in Lathan's face. I mean, he was right there.
Colt Ryan, second in the Valley in three-point. Makes, and then the lob to Lathan.
And he has words for Ryan, because right after Ryan hit the three, he shot him a look. Lathan gets the dunk and goes right back at him. These two are going to wage a heavyweight war.
And back it comes.
Advantage Ryan. What do you got, Mr. Lathan?
But Evansville, it's like they pulled the goalie a couple times tonight. The goal has been wide open for Indiana State on multiple occasions. Lathan, a little too sped up. Throws it away. That leaves Harris and a foul on Odom.
Evansville's coming alive. You can feel they've got more movement in their offense. You can feel just that they're playing with a little more enthusiasm.
Well, if you put them at the line, they're going to cut into a lead in a hurry with that clock stop. Again, they're fabulous at the foul stripe. And Harris, who missed a critical free throw, one of the few misses they've had at the line, could have got it to overtime here. They only lost to Wichita State by 1 point. It would have been a huge home victory for them. Instead, Wichita State able to escape with the victory.
Well, 5-5 in the league coming in. I'm sure Marty's message to his kids was before the game, okay, are we a team that's going to make noise in this conference, or are we going to backslide and be under 500 again? We're at home. We've got to defend the home court.
And he's bucking the trend in even-numbered years. They were last in the Valley in 08 and 10. In odd-numbered years, they tied for 5th in 09, 6th in 11. And keep in mind, I should have mentioned this earlier, they won a postseason game last year. And now a steal, a 6-point disadvantage for Evansville, but it was 14. Taylor leaves it. Saville! Here comes Evansville.
They got to cook it. Timeout, they got to cook it. You can feel the crowd has risen. They are into it, and the team came out of the locker room, and they got the message that they weren't playing very good basketball. But now, their defense gets them an opportunity. Take it all the way. Unselfish play inside. Finish and score.
They said expect a run from Evansville, a run you've got. A 13-6 Purple Aces run to cut the deficit to 4, mainly because Colt Ryan is taking over.
Well, the shots that he had to hit in that mini little battle with Lathan, these are contested shots. I mean, he's got a hand right there. Boom. Lathan gets a dunk. Ryan says, I can match you. That is contested again over Walker. I mean, 2 tough shots.
And a good stagger there to get Ryan a shot. As good screen set by his teammates. I was going to mention Marty Simmons last year in Evansville. Colt Ryan, of course, in his junior season. But last year in Colt's sophomore year, they won a postseason game for the first time since 1989. Huge step. Of course, they won the Valley in 99. They lost to Kansas in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And Marty Simmons is building something here at Evansville, trying to recapture the great tradition that they've had here for years and years in southern Indiana.
We talked about assist numbers. For Indiana State, 16 out of 19. 19 baskets, 16 assists. Outstanding. And 14 for 16 for Evansville. Both clubs playing very unselfish, moving the basketball.
And Indiana State's got a little more juice on defense. Again, they lead the Valley in steals, and Gant with a huge basket. Indiana State needed it, and from an unlikely source.
That's his second hoop of the evening, and doesn't seem like the face mask he's having to play with is making him at all timid inside. Scored 2 baskets right around the hoop, took a hit, and was able to score.
Back to 6. Still a long way to go. But at one point, Indiana State led by 14 points. Five to shoot. Ryan against McWhorter. And McWhorter wouldn't let him breathe that time.
No, really good defense. Made it a tough shot, and he didn't make this one.
Odom behind the back, and a quick shot for the Sycamores. Now it's Idle's turn.
Marty Simmons up screaming. He wants screens.
They're one of the better screening teams you'll see. Now one-on-one and ducking the shoulders. Saville, that's his 3rd foul. Well, Hearn might have had the flu earlier, but he just gave the sickness to Evansville. Indiana State's got it back up by 6. We'll call it a rivalry that has lasted since 1921. And it's close, 79-76 Indiana State through the years. Tonight it's a 6-point lead for Indiana State. It has been a real difference first half to second half for the Purple Aces. They were down by 25 to Wichita State and nearly came back to win that game at the Roundhouse.
And to be able to do that, because Wichita State, they get you down, they bury you.
Yeah.
We saw what they did to Bradley. But they never quit. They kept playing hard, didn't win the game, but I think they took something out of it that, guys, we have got to come ready to go from the get-go. Now, they struggled here in the first half, but they really jumped on them quick to start the second half.
Well, Evansville bailed out a bad pass from Gant, trying to get it to Cutter. And Evansville's going to be called for the foul, and Marty Simmons is not real tickled. Second foul on Colt Ryan. Again with his 15 points, leading Evansville in scoring. Evansville really challenging the passing lanes, Cap. They've got a second rush of energy here. Idle hit 2 threes in the first half. They're going to let him go right to the basket, and he steps out of bounds.
Well, he followed his shot, and nobody was there. Does a really nice job to hustle after the basketball, but he stepped on the baseline.
Indiana State being out-rebounded by Evansville, one of the few stats that the Purple Aces command at this point. Ryan over Idle, flings it up there. Evansville wanted a call. Instead, Idle gets the rebound, and he'll shoot for 3. And Indiana State will probably reset it here. Odom says, let me have it.
Crowd saw Colt Ryan hit the deck. They wanted the call.
Odom, offensive foul. And now both coaches are upset as Odom has drawn his second personal.
On number 13, Jake Odom. That's his second personal
Colt
foul.
Ryan's getting some great screens, though. Here's the one we've got right here.
Evansville, number 4, Lewis Jones.
Boy, I don't know about that one.
Nor does Greg Lansing.
Didn't see a defender set.
Evansville will take it. Strong cut to the ball. Ryan robbed. And this is an over the back foul on Indiana State. Don Daly's going to get Mahurin, yeah.
On number 31, A.J. Mahurin. That's his second personal foul, team 4th.
No shots for Chesnalavich. Rokas Chesnalavich.
I told RC. I'm not even going to try.
Cox with a side ISO and then just lets it go to McWhorter. Lathan. Goaltending. Bob Huggins isn't in the arena tonight, but he'd say, that's goaltending.
Watch that.
Rough call yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Call.
Love Huggy Bear.
So
Troy Taylor.
Especially when he breaks out the gold suit.
So Troy Taylor called for the goaltend in a bucket for Indiana State. They're back up by 8. And Lathan is setting on 14 points, 2 over his average. The season high was 15 and a loss at Creighton. Job by McWhorter. Second steal for him. And Lathan is the beneficiary.
Boy, did he come tearing down the center of the lane. And that is a big basket, a shot of energy off of a steal. They get back up to double digits. So as hard as you work, you look up, you go, wow, we're double digits down again.
And Lathan putting the hammer down here, but that's 2 straight steals by Steve McWhorter.
There comes the steal, and here's the hustle play. And Lathan sees it and beats a real good trail right down the court, down the middle of the lane.
Huge week on ESPNU on Wednesday, National Signing Day. It starts at 9 a.m. Eastern. 10 hours of coverage presented by AT&T. We talked about Dorial Green Beckham yesterday. We were in his hometown of Springfield. He will make a decision on Wednesday. Indiana also with some of the top players in the country. Gunnar Kiel is one that comes to mind, number 52 on the ESPNU Top 150.
Okay, he was going to Indiana for a long time.
Right,
decided not to, and then it was LSU. Decided that wasn't good. Now he's committed to Notre Dame. So where does he sign?
Wednesday, man. On the U, we'll find out.
That's exactly right.
Steve McQuarter has been great here for Indiana State defensively. Ryan. An offensive and a block. Lathan with the field. 18 season high for Dwayne Lathan of Indiana State.
He's locked in. He was thinking nothing but shot right there.
Well, you said expect a run from Evansville. We got it, but now we get the countermeasure. The run by Indiana State and back up by 12. They thread the feet inside and the bucket. Chesnalavichus has his second 2 of the night after having his shot blocked the last time.
Nice pass, so Denver Holmes, as he fell down, was able to feed it inside to RC. Really nice job.
Still 12 minutes to go, but Indiana State is playing good ball tonight on the road. And again, has yet to win on the Valley on the road. 0-5 to pull up McQuarter airballs it. And Greg Lansing says, just go play defense.
Crowd wants a foul, but it was really incidental contact. Colt Ryan didn't lose possession. They don't call a foul there.
Taylor and a foul on Lathan. As Troy Taylor, one of the more aggressive inside 6-foot players you'll see, Lathan thought he had the verticality. Indiana State continues to shoot it well. 64%. They lead 56-46.
There's a rule called the principle of verticality. You as a defender own the space you're standing in straight up to the heavens. Now let's watch Lathan here. That's a no call. They call the foul on him. That is the principle of verticality, exactly how it was written up. I think that's outstanding defense. He gets called for a foul. The only time that is a foul is when your arms come down into the shooter's space. He was standing solid, didn't leave his feet, didn't create body contact. I think that's a no call, in my opinion.
Troy Tyler draws the foul, and again, not afraid to mix it up, the junior from Anderson, Indiana. There's a look at Lathan now, 18 points. His career high is 27. That was an Arch Madness in St. Louis 2 years ago when he had 27 against Illinois State. The 18 tonight, including 10 in the second half, is a season high. And he's had those 10 in less than 9 minutes of this half. Taylor again pops these home. No problem for Evansville. They are perfect at the line in the game. 11 of 11 are the Purple Aces. And
you did it again.
I know. What happens that way? 9-point lead for Indiana State.
I watched Derrick Rose today. He's 12 of 12. He gets 2 to win the game with 17 seconds left to give him a lead. He misses them both.
I think of other bigger free throws he missed when he was in Memphis. Miles Walker inside, offensive foul. Give Evansville credit. Paul Jansen. And Walker goes down hard on his hip. That's 3 fouls on the big center for Indiana State.
That's his third personal foul.
Now, they're wiping up the area right in the semicircle where you cannot take a charge. I couldn't tell where his feet were, though, when he took the hit.
Evansville trying to find another run here. They've had 5 home losses. They lost to Drake, Tennessee Tech. Those are the head scratchers. Wichita State and Indiana not so much, but then they lost in overtime to TCU as well. Cox, good hands by Indiana State. McQuarter's been a defensive whiz here in the second half for the Sycamores. And with a 9-point lead, Indiana State will look for a good shot. Richard's been quiet lately. Idle waits. cold in the second half. Missed his last 3 after hitting his first 2 of the game from three-point range.
They got to set a screen and get Colt Ryan a look. He's got idle on him. Somebody's got to spring him.
Try to go inside, and a nice play by Justin Gant to get in the passing lane.
Just outstanding defense. There was no way that pass could be completed. They have got to do a better job at getting Colt Ryan a look.
Again, Evansville doesn't turn it over much. That's 6 tonight. But they're the top 8 in the country. Well, they have 8 per game, top 10 in the country.
But the physical play that Indiana State has brought to the game, really a huge key tonight. Why they started quickly and why they're ahead in this ball game by 9. They came to practice Friday thinking it's a normal workout. Greg Lansing's just going to run us through practice, and we're going to get ready. We're going to travel on Saturday and come in and ready to play Sunday. Instead, they've got the strength coach, Mr. McManus, there with sparring gloves and football pads, and he's pounding on the inside guys all over the place. I mean, drilling them. And they had to complete their shots anyway. And they did, and it changed their mindset, their mentality, coming in knowing it's an Evansville team that is very physical.
Well, his buddy Bielema would love that.
He absolutely would.
Fly him in, have a little Wisconsin football practice.
Yep, his close friend Brett Bielema, the head coach of Wisconsin, when they were their days at Iowa together as assistants.
Bring Monty Ball. He's from St. Louis, not far. Just let him carry the ball right in the lane, smacking around a little bit.
I remember when Tom Izzo had his team put on shoulder pads and helmets and do rebounding drills.
Eddie Sutton did the same thing at Oklahoma State. Here, Indiana State with possession, and now they turn it over. Colt Ryan with the steal. Ryan sets up.